Hey there, everybody. Dom Tibbetts from 7 Sports alongside Mia O'Brien from 1010XL down in Jacksonville, getting you guys ready for the Bills versus Jaguars at Tottenham Stadium in London. Huge matchup here. The Bills going back to London again. Mia, the Jaguars are almost residents, I feel like. They have like dual citizenship over across the pond here. I'll start just generically about this Jaguars team. I know it's been up and down so far, but there's a lot of high expectations for them to kind of claim the AFC South this year. What's just kind of your takeaways from them so far on this kind of up and down so far?
Yeah, it's funny, Dom, because the sky is falling in Jacksonville, so to speak, because oh my goodness, the offense doesn't look like it's clicking. Oh my goodness, the defense is getting exposed. The reality is, and this isn't even just from Jacksonville area pundits, this is from national pundits, former scouts that I've listened to on national networks. They said they've never felt like they've seen a team that's 1-2 that got blown out by 20 by a lesser opponent and said, nah, they're fine. They're going to be A-okay. I don't know if obviously in Buffalo, you guys are familiar with Joe Burrow and the 0-2 starts that they have had. I'm not trying to liken Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence to that. But the reality is that Doug Peterson has had to win 5 of the last 7 games in at least 4 of his seasons as head coach, 3 in Philly. And then obviously last year in Jacksonville, where they went on a huge, 6-game, 7-game win streak that obviously culminated with a 27-0 deficit to the Los Angeles Chargers, and then a come from behind 31-30 victory in the postseason. And so it's funny, if you've seen the meme of the little girl and the mom where she's like, why can't you just be normal? Like, I put the Jaguar head on the little girl because everyone in this town just wants them to be normal, to be the team that they are on paper, which is one of the most explosive teams statistically in the National Football League. Right now, I think part of the issue is to kind of dive into the X's and O's a little bit. Last year, the offense was so organic. It was Trevor Lawrence drops back, whoever is open, that's who the ball is going to. Even when they went away from the run game at times, for reasons unknown, the reality was that the short passing game is essentially a run game in the Doug Peterson offense. They're always going to be 55, 45, 60, 30, 60, 40 when it comes to how they scheme their offense. But what we're finding this year is with the addition of Calvin Ridley, Trevor Lawrence is targeting him more than any other wide receiver, despite the fact that Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, I'm counting Evan Ingram as a wide receiver. He's really a tight end, but we're putting him in there. Near identical stats through the first 3 games of the NFL season. But he keeps targeting Calvin Ridley, who has had a astonishing 6 drops through 3 games, which is bonkers. Christian Kirk also has been plagued by drops. Evan Ingram had a drop against the Texans as well. And so the offense just looks clunky. But as much as Jaguar fans want to blame the play calling, because the reality is that the players don't catch the ball, then what is there to do? Trevor Lawrence, on the other hand, if you take those drops away, would be passing for nearly an 80% completion percentage. And so in my estimation, anyone who tells you that this is on Trevor is nuts. If you saw the 2 touchdown passes he had against the Indianapolis Colts in the opener, one to Calvin Ridley, one to Zay Jones, there's about 3 people on the planet who can make that throw. Josh Allen may be one of them. But the reality is that this is just a matter of the offense kind of feeling itself out with the addition of Ridley. And once they get going and they are able to score early, which was an issue last year, the Jags nearly were always behind, even in that postseason and that down the stretch run. The reality is once they start scoring points, that will help the defense. And that is what Trent Baalke, Doug Peterson, and the rest of the front office were banking on when they developed and curated this roster.
So I'm going to get the defense in a second, but you brought up Trevor Lawrence because I think Bills fans are going to look at some of the quarterbacks they had to go up against. So Aaron Rodgers for 4 plays, and then you go and take Jimmy G, and then you get ready. You have to take on Tua, Sam Howell. So they really, you've got Aaron Rodgers for 4 plays. You got Tua in that red hot Miami offense for, a game or so. And then you get Trevor Lawrence. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a very good quarterback, and I think he's going to develop into one to be, a very top tier quarterback as he progresses in his career here. Bills fans maybe won't agree with that because they aren't just familiar with Trevor Lawrence. What about this jump from year 1 to where it is now that has Jaguar fans and people like you who cover this team so excited to see where he's kind of going with his projection in his career.
Yeah, I don't think this is an indication of the defense. I think it's an indication of Trevor Lawrence's growth. The past 2 seasons, and granted, the first one, that was because he was in a competition with Gardner Minshew for the starting role, if you may. We had to chart Trevor during training camp, like so many people do of the quarterbacks that they cover in the National Football League. You didn't have to chart Trevor in training camp because I think he had about 9 incompletions total. And that's where people love to throw Justin Herbert's stats and, he was 31 of 38 or whatever it was against the Vikings. Trevor can do that if only his receivers catch the ball. The Jaguars led the league in drops last year. They lead the league in drops yet again this season. And so that's where I feel like Trevor's stats aren't really indicative of what he's able to do. That's only furthered by the sack numbers, sacks allowed by the Jacksonville Jaguars, an offensive line that has been much maligned by Pro Football Focus, by ESPN analytics. There is a school of thought here in Jacksonville that part of why the Jaguars offensive line was actually top 10. They did not allow all that many sacks. I believe it was like 28, somewhere between 28 and 34, which was, I think, like 9th in the league, 9th best. There is a school of thought that part of that is because Trevor is sack proof, because he has such great vision, such great feel in the pocket. And again, these are things the stats won't tell you. The biggest issue with Trevor last year, just like his second year at Clemson, is once he's so amped up and once he knows he's got to win a ball game, that is where the interceptions may happen. And that's something that Bills fans may be familiar with Josh Allen. Trevor has a tendency to go into hero ball. We saw it against the Houston Texans in week 3, where, again, I don't want to belabor the point, but the fullback kickoff return touchdown, I think we're going to be hearing about that. Even if the Jags win the Super Bowl this year, we will be hearing about that forever. Next drive, Trevor Lawrence thinking, all right, now we're 2 scores from behind. I 2 touchdowns down. I got to get something going downfield. That's where he pressed, and that's where he threw yet another pick. The reality is, though, if you go through his interceptions since the loss, ironically, in London to the Denver Broncos last year, all of his interceptions have been the byproduct of either a receiver running the wrong route, him pressing, or something out of his control, i.e. the crazy fumble with DeForest Buckner week 1 against the Colts. So that's what's wild is, like, if you take all those crazy things, which obviously are part of the game of football, out of it, Trevor Lawrence is right there with Patrick Mahomes, right there with Justin Herbert. And now it's just a matter of putting everything else around them into place, which for whatever the reason is taking a little bit longer than expected.
Well, and then the weapons he has. So you mentioned Calvin Ridley comes back after the year-long suspension, but Christian Kirk, I know you mentioned the drops, and listen, a lot of Bills fans got on Gabe Davis last year for the drops after he came off a really solid performance in that 13-second game against the Chiefs. So I think a lot of fans will know pretty much that Christian Kirk is also a good wide receiver as well. You mentioned Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, a familiar face to Bills Mafia here. The weapons around him, how much of a challenge can that present to a Bills defense that has been playing pretty exceptionally well in the last couple of games?
Yeah, so the expectation, and again, I don't want to speak out of turn since obviously we're speaking before the game kicks off at Tottenham on Sunday. But Zay Jones obviously did not play against the Texans. The knee injury that he suffered against the Chiefs has been bothering him. And so it's a question mark, but he did make the trip to London. I talked to him and he expects to play against the Bills. Hopefully that continues to be the case and he continues to trend in that direction, because I said in the preseason, Dom, and this may be a hot take for some, I said back in July, my hot take was that Zay Jones, not Calvin Ridley, not Christian Kirk, would lead the Jaguars in touchdowns. I think Christian Kirk will still lead them in receptions when all is said and done because of the nature of playing in the slot. I think Calvin Ridley will lead them in receiving yards so long as he can actually catch the ball. But Zay Jones is a guy who, when you look at that stretch run for the Jags last year, the 3-touchdown game against the Cowboys, the crazy broken play against the Chargers, like, he is the security blanket. As much as Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk are also security blankets for Trevor Lawrence, I just think Zay gives such a dimension to this offense. And then you combine that with the fact that defenses are accounting for Kirk in the slot, for Ridley, because he is the quote-unquote number one. You also have Evan Ingram, who, of course, splits out wide. And the odd man out is Zay Jones. And so that is where I have said from the jump that he is the guy that defenses, unless you have 4 guys that can man mark, like, what are you going to do with him? And especially if you're going to bracket Kirk like the Colts did, or if you're going to double team Ridley like the Chiefs did and bring safety help. And so that's the guy that I have circled all season long. He had the best training camp of the four. With that said, I do think that there is an added emphasis to get Evan Ingram more involved in this offense. Heard some really good ideas in terms of how to jumpstart this Jags offense. And it's, I heard one scout say that, you got to draw up your 5 best players on offense. What are the 4 or 5 best plays you run with them? The one play in the Jags playbook that is absolutely undefeated is Evan Ingram on a rollout. It is guaranteed to go for at least 12 yards every single time. Against the Chiefs and against the Texans, the Jags didn't go to that play until the second half. Perhaps that is why they lost both those games. And so I do think there will also be a concerted effort to get Evan Ingram, number 17, the ball as well.
And not to mention, I want to make, because I want to go on to the defense, but Travis Etienne, I think we both could agree.
Oh, yeah.
In that conversation as well, as long as the weapons that Trevor has around him.
Yeah, I actually really do want to shout out Travis because he is a guy, and I've said this publicly. I obviously, covered James Robinson when he was here, very close with him and his family, and throughout his rehab process after he tore his Achilles. And it was so funny because last September, I'm standing in the locker room the week before James makes his return, talking to him and Travis goes, "Oh yeah, I can't wait because he's going to take all the inside tackle or inside runs for me. It's going to be great. I don't have to worry anymore." The reality is once they traded James Robinson and Travis Etienne had to run in between the tackles, the Jags struggled at times. Whether that was his vision, he told reporters and apparently told running backs coach Bernie Parmalee in the offseason and Doug Peterson that he felt like he was running to the hole, not through the hole. Whatever they did this offseason, Dom, it has been night and day. He looks like a top 5 running back in the National Football League, and they need to pound the rock because that is where their offensive line is thriving right now, quite frankly. And so look for a more healthy balance, even though, like I said off the top, the Jags will always be 60-40, 55-45 when it comes to pass run.
Absolutely. All right, defense. And you brought up the Chiefs game, which I think was a great example because you're watching the Jags and the Kansas City Chiefs go neck and neck. And I think we all know is that if the Jaguars offense has some level of competency in that game, it probably ends differently. But I looked at that game and I'm going to try avoiding the Texans game a little bit. But the Kansas City game kind of, piqued my interest because I'm watching this defense that also seems like they're trying to really group what they have together. There are some talented playmakers on that side of the ball too. What are some of the challenges that a Jaguars defense presents to a team like the Bills, who are maybe, 70-30, with more Josh Allen passing the ball, him controlling the run game, and now implementing, some of the guys that the Bills have out of the backfield?
Yeah, what I'm really curious to see is whether or not the Jaguars implement the 3 safety look that they did against the Baltimore Ravens to much success last year in order to stop Lamar Jackson. Not that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are the same player, but obviously with the zone read, you need to account for the quarterback on the move. That's something they didn't do against the New York Giants last year, and Daniel Jones ran all over them in late October. And so I think that was really a wake-up call for this defense when it comes to defending the run of the quarterback, because they have been, when they are at their best, they are a top 10 run defense in the National Football League. That's where I think that some of the matchups, both in London and a couple others that are in the short view, what do you call it? Near view, rear, the front view mirror. Mirror is hard.
It's somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Windshield, in the windshield right now. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's why, honestly, quite frankly, there's always this debate, and I'm prepping for it right now as I go to war, aka go to my radio show in a few hours, of why did they draft Trayvon Walker? Why didn't they draft Aiden Hutchinson? Blah, blah. The reality is that Trent Baalke drafted Trayvon Walker because the Jaguars play in the AFC South. And yes, Jonathan Taylor is now allegedly on his way out of Indianapolis. I'll believe it when I see it because it's Jim Irsay and you never know what's coming next. But you have Jonathan Taylor, you have Derrick Henry, you have Dameon Pierce. If you cannot stop the run, you cannot win that division. And Trayvon Walker is a far superior run defender to Aiden Hutchinson. And so that is where I think for the Bills team, obviously that is predicated on the pass, but Josh Allen's running ability is certainly a threat. I think that's something the Jags can neutralize relatively easily. What'll be interesting for me is to see how in the secondary they choose to defend Stephon Diggs. This is a secondary that last year, even though everyone with eyes could tell that Tyson Campbell was their number one cornerback, the coaching staff continued to reiterate that they were playing a left and right, that Shaq Griffin would be on the right and Tyson Campbell was on the left. No one was trailing anyone. Shaq Griffin goes down with a back injury. They insert Trey Herndon, even though he is much better in the slot, which is, look at that. Now where he is playing, and at where he played the last 7-8 games of the season last year, as Darius Williams returned to his natural position outside to much success. And then you saw against the Las Vegas Raiders, which was the Jaguars' third win of the season last year, and kind of where things started to turn for the better, he trailed Devontae Adams. And so that is where I look at this matchup and I say, do you put Tyson on Stephon Diggs? Do you bring safety help? And do you gamble with some of those other guys? I think the tight end matchup in particular is going to be fascinating, knowing full well that Devin Lloyd did not make the trip to London. He suffered a broken hand, or a hand injury, I should say, against the Texans week 3. And not having him in coverage, which is crazy to think because last year he was a bit of a liability despite being a first-round pick, just because he was still getting his sea legs under him. Not having Devin Lloyd, you have Chad Muma, who's a thumper in the middle and certainly is athletic and can go sideline to sideline, but nowhere near at the pace or the efficiency as Devin Lloyd. And so, and knowing full well that Foye Oluokun is going to pretty much be in the middle, be the center point of your defense, be your thumper. It will be very curious to see what they do with that will linebacker spot and defending the tight ends of the Bills.
So broke down both sides of the ball. And I think one thing that, like, I've heard this argument from both sides of like, oh, it's an advantage or it's a disadvantage. So the Jaguars are going to have 2 weeks in London. You know, they're already going to, you know, they're going to be coming off the Atlanta game. They're going to be here playing the Bills for, you know, they don't have to travel in the same week that the Bills do. Why is there a debate? I don't know if maybe you've even heard of this, but there is like this debate I've heard. It's like, oh, it's an advantage because they're in London. You don't have to worry about the travel, but it's like, oh, it's a disadvantage because the guys want to be in their own bed and the jet lag and everything lags on them. And I don't know. I've heard both sides of this. I'm just curious to see like what your take on, you know, is this really a psychological thing as people are making it out to be that Jacksonville gets 2 weeks in London?
So before they jetted off, I, kind of went around the locker room, just asking a couple of the guys and even some of the staffers, and the reaction was the same. Well, we don't have much of a choice. This is what they have us doing. It's a business trip. This is what we're going to do. I'd probably say about half the team has their family coming over with them in some point or fashion for vacation. They will have a couple of off days, just like, you would here. I'm really fascinated to see the work week part of it, because that's something we haven't seen yet in the NFL London series. From what I've been told, the offices where you'll watch film are in the ballroom of a hotel. That's a little bit different than being in the practice facility. That's where I'm very curious to see how that affects their performance on Sunday. There is also a school of thought that the Jags play better when they're not stressing about their opponent, or perhaps they need to stress more about their opponent, i.e. looking over the Houston Texans. And so it's going to be very, very interesting. I think like any vacation, by the time you're hitting day 11 or 12, like you're ready to go home. And that goes for work trips as well. So that's where but it's so weird because, again, let's go back to what I said at the beginning. This team is not normal. I could absolutely see a world where they come in hair on fire and beat the Bills by 30. I could also see a world where they lose to the Bills by 30. That is just the nature of this team. And so it'll be very fascinating to see. But yeah, it's kind of just been this is what we have to do reaction from the team. Although certainly there were also a couple players who were telling me all the plans they had for their off day Tuesday to sightsee, and they're going to go to a Fulham game and stuff like that. As someone who studied abroad in London myself, I can tell you, I did not get over the jet lag until probably 2 or 3 days in. And so the fact that NFL teams have historically flown over on a Thursday into a Friday and then flown back Sunday, that's a lot for the brain. That's a lot for the brain to handle.
Yeah, no. And it's funny. I was actually talking to a friend that lived in Jacksonville, now lives in Birmingham, but was born and raised there, big Jags fan. And he was one of the ones that introduced me to this conversation. He's like, there's like a psychological battle of like, do the Jags get a benefit out of being there for 2 weeks, or is it a disadvantage? And I don't know. I guess you just have to wait and see that Sunday when the actual product's on the field. So Mia, I think we're pretty much good and wrapped up. Is there any final points on anything you need to make?
No, I don't think so. Just, if the Jags look really good on Sunday, if they look really awful, just think about that meme, folks, because that is this team. And I don't feel bad saying it because I know even the boys at the Athletic Football Show said it last week. They were like, how do you become a fan? How do you stay a fan of this team? Because they can look so awesome and then look so awful, but we actually know they're somewhere in the middle. That is my cross to bear, Dom.
I love it. Mia, quickly, if you want, go ahead and give yourself a little plug here. Where can the people find you on social media? Where can they listen to you on 1010XL?
Yep. So on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days, at Mia O'Brien TV. I am at 10XL, which is the Jaguars flagship radio station. I co-host our noon lunch hour show from 12 to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday called XL Primetime, as well as our all-female show on Tuesday nights, 6 to 8 p.m. called Helmets and Heels. I am also our insider and our director of multimedia production. And so you can find us on all of your various social channels, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. We are there at 1010XL or 1010XL Jax, depending on which channel you're looking at.
All right. Well, there you go, Bills Mafia. Now you know where to go reach out to Mia. Go send her all your smack talk, getting ready for this week's matchup in London. Bills Jaguars kicking off at 9:30. And if you're seeing the trend here too, it's because, week one, I brought Jake Asman on talk about the Jets. So maybe it's the Ithaca in me that's just bringing.
I'm looking to see. I'm actually in the process of moving. I'm like, do I have any Ithaca stuff that I can like? Oh yeah, hold on. We got something.
All right.
We do. No offense to Jake Asman, but I don't think he's got one of these bad boys.
Oh, he definitely doesn't. But it was very.
Oh yeah, this is a good old Campus Life Award, baby. 2015, because I am old.
Roll Bombers. Well, it's funny when we brought up the Ithaca thing, he reached down and immediately had a hat right next to his desk, so I was like, it's perfect, it's a free advertisement for
you know us. We are always repping. Rest assured.
Roll Bombers. All right, Mia, thank you so much, folks. Thank you all for tuning in. For Mia O'Brien, I'm Dom Tibbetts. We'll see y'all next time.